Bat music. Bat is not a bat, he's a man who fights crime. And we're gonna watch him fight for a minute at a time. With John and Niall and a guest who doesn't rhyme. It's Bat Minute! Hello and welcome again to Bat Minute Returns, the podcast where we examine the X's and O's of Tim Burton's 1992 Batman sequel, Batman Returns, 1 minute at a time. I am one of the hosts, Niall McGowan.
And joining him is his other host, a man who is not linked to any scandals by Navy zealots. It is John Parker.
We are once again joined by the same guests we had in the last episode, but I can allow you two to introduce yourselves.
We're back. Hi, this is Odessa Lil, and my pal is also here.
I am Klingon Vanna White.
We're comedy life partners.
Yes, and life partners.
Stop saying that in public.
You just need to accept my love.
Never! Okay. That was easy.
That was an easy sell.
We're from the Speak Easily Hour Minute podcast. And that's on the internet, and don't listen to it when there's small children or coworkers in the room. That covers it all.
So many sex jokes, F-bombs, and a lot of poop jokes.
So many poop jokes. And actually, even though we're the Speak Easily Hour Minute podcast, we're not a movie by minute podcast. we just like to be tricky that way.
You're just trying to get in on this this market. Like, if you put it in the name,
yeah.
It'll bring people to
cashing in
we're
on
so
those.
Inspired.
Totally.
Genius.
Yep. We make minutes seem like hours.
Well, you're on the right show. You're with the right company.
But we're here to talk today about minute 44 of Batman Returns, which begins with the Penguin just vamping it up. Like, he is going to town with this performance, and it ends 1 minute later with a new character is on the scene. Someone, have we met her before? We don't know who is this mysterious woman dressed a bit like a cat.
Ooh.
But yeah, so as I was saying there, as we briefly mentioned last minute, the Penguin is really like, he's selling this, like, they freaked, but I forgive them. Like, and again, it's so transparently fake. It's like, how's anyone buying this?
That's what I love about it, though. He's going so overboard.
I mean, if you just compare it to Trump, am I allowed to talk to you? Wonder how are people buying it, but they do.
And somehow they do. Yep.
We also have to remember that this is the same public of Gotham that had the Joker come out and go, I'm going to dump 20 million in the streets, and like, everything's going to be fine. And they all showed up. They'd be like, oh, this guy's dropping money on us. Nothing bad's going to happen. Now, the fact that we've already seen him on television admitting that he's poisoned all these things. No, this Joker guy, that was all a misunderstanding.
But this time there's money, right? So, money. Yeah, this really is all about America, isn't it?
Yeah, it's genius. Like, we've said it before, but this movie's so ahead of its time in that respect, because if anything, it's more applicable now.
But yeah, we do. We actually got a return of a character we haven't seen in a while. We got the Paperboy. Paperboy's back.
Yay, my favorite character.
Yeah, this is again Sean Whalen. You guys might not have heard the episode, but you might well know who this guy is, because he is the kid from the Got Milk advert where he's eating loads of peanut butter, and then he gets the call about like, who shot Alexander Hamilton? And,
roar.
Yeah, that's that guy. That's him. Since we did those episodes, he's got that thing where like I keep seeing him and stuff now, where it's like, oh, I never noticed Sean Whalen before, but now I somehow start noticing that Sean Whalen is like everywhere.
You should get him on the show.
I wish. I think he's too big for us. I think he's like a proper, well-known character actor. I underestimated him before, but like,
you don't know if you don't try.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
Offer him some milk.
That's all it takes. It's a bit like luring Santa Claus. You know, in America, do you leave milk and cookies?
I don't know. I'm Jewish.
Well, that's what I understand from movies. Because in England, it's not milk and cookies. We're hardcore. You know, we give Santa booze.
What? Really?
Yeah. You leave booze out for Santa.
Like eggnog?
Oh no, we don't have eggnog really. What is it you leave out, Niall? Is it brandy?
I think like this is different because we used to leave out like a mince pie and some carrots. That was always the thing.
Carrots.
Yeah.
The carrots are for the reindeer.
Like classically,
The mince pies are a thing we have over here, Christmassy thing. You leave that for Santa, but you also give him drink. It's basically so your dad can have a drink.
Yeah. It's like you leave out stuff for Santa that your parents might also be interested in.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because kids don't want mince pie. No kid wants to eat mince pie.
Oh, it's lovely.
Other people
got
over
little
here
bits
in the
in
UK love mince pies. They're disgusting, but people
They're amazing,
love
you
them.
freak.
And it's every year. It's getting like earlier. You'll see like mid-November. It's like the mince pies are out, and they have them plastered all over the shops and stuff.
I'm excited.
But it's like if you people love them so much, why not just have them all year round? It's like no, it's because of the tradition of Christmas. That's the only time you get to eat mince pies.
That's what makes Christmas fun when you're an atheist like me. You know, I'm not into the religious crap. I just want to eat and drink.
Food.
Yeah,
You want
food.
the mince pie.
Yeah.
It sounds like our pumpkin spice latte craze here.
Oh, yeah. We're getting into that now. We've just started getting them the last couple of years.
I must actually make a point because I don't usually get into town to get near like the Starbucks and stuff, but I'm going to the airport tomorrow. So I might see if the Starbucks in there has the pumpkin spice latte, so I can just
They will.
have a try of it just to see what the deal is. But
Are you a basic white girl, Niall?
BWG. No.
That'd be a good, a good stage character, a good drag name.
Basic white girl.
MCBWG.
There is someone called Karen from Finance, which is one of the greatest names of all time.
Oh, that's so good.
But anyway, Batman.
Bye-bye.
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 got a big close up of the Gotham Globe, the paper that the paper boy is flogging. And we actually, the Penguin forgives parents. He is at peace with himself and the world. Which actually, you can buy replicas of this paper online. You can just go and get, if you just want this paper in your house, you can get it.
Christmas present.
I've actually been able to go in and read the article, which is very disappointing.
Really?
Because it's actually just like a bunch of unrelated gibberish that they've just.
Oh, it's like ipsum lorem, just like filler text.
It's just like a lot of it's just repeated over and over. It reminded me of, when you used to be able to get like printed versions of The Onion. And their filler articles was always just the sentence, passers-by were amazed by the unusually large amounts of blood. Just that line written over and over and over again.
I didn't know The Onion was a physical thing, right? Because I got into it through the internet. But once I was in a bathroom in a club, and they had some physical copies of The Onion in the stall.
How long did they think you were going to be in there?
I wonder if you're getting that mixed up, actually, because I used to get the annual every year, and we used to keep it in the bathroom. So
and then I saw yours and was like, oh, brilliant.
There you go. But yeah, you can. The weird thing is, though, the opening paragraph actually is quite insightful. We get a little bit of detail about the Cobblepots, because for one, the article here is written by David Laveau and Ralph Scamilla. So apparently, two staff writers. Two guys doing the work of one Knox. Gotham Globe's really gone downhill since he disappeared or whatever. But we do get, again, even though we know now that he's called Oswald Cobblepot, their opening line is, Penguin, a devoted son who loves his parents. His name is Oswald Cobblepot, for Christ's sake.
But everyone knows him as the Penguin.
Yeah, it's like Lobster Boy.
But not even the Penguin, just Penguin. He is just Penguin.
People always used to call me Bubble Boy because I was allergic to everything. It would just make me sneeze. So they were like, you need to live in a bubble.
You and John Travolta.
Oh, there's generational differences. I was Jake Gyllenhaal in my head. It's like, oh yeah, Travolta was the original Bubble Boy.
Boy in a bubble.
Yeah.
We need a reboot of Bubble Boy. Come on.
It'll probably come.
It took all the power within me there not to say bubble butt, I'll be honest.
That's what they call you, bubble butt.
But yeah, the opening paragraph is like, Penguin, a devoted son who loves his parents, feels no remorse towards them. His dad, a district attorney. So there we go. We know now. Tucker Cobblepot apparently was, I don't know if he was the district attorney of Gotham or he was just a district attorney somewhere, but that's what he did, apparently. Which is, so we were speculating earlier in the movie. It's like, well, yeah, who is this guy? What's his deal? And we also get then, and his mother, who was active in the DAR, which, of course, Gilmore Girls fans will remember that Emily Gilmore was all about the DAR, the Daughters of the American Revolution.
Oh, creepy.
Yeah.
Because of her affiliation with them, I was like, they must be, like, evil. Because Emily Gilmore was kind of, I know she was a bit more, gray, but she was kind of an evil character. She was the villain of the Gilmore Girls, really.
There's a tinge of white supremacy in America for Daughters of the Revolution.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No.
Just so you know.
Like, that's not... White supremacy and racism are not revolutionary. Let me just put that out. if you've got revolutionary in your name, I think you need to be leaning more left, shall we say.
But yeah, so they mentioned, mother who's active in the DAR probably had little time with him, with their career and social life. Feels he has been pushed aside while they live their active lives. Like, dude, they threw you in a river when you're like a week old. What the hell?
My favorite bit about the paper is the way there's a second headline, obviously a separate story, but the way it's been kind of positioned, it looks like it's following on. Because it says, Penguin forgives parents. I'm finally at peace with myself and the world. And then, linked to scandal by Navy zealots, ex-admiral says.
Maybe there was a little side story, like, the Penguin's also been linked to scandal.
This
apparently.
Navy scandal.
Yeah, apparently the ex-Navy people are coming after
Well,
him.
he's a penguin. He's a sea.
Yeah.
I like the way people are reading lines as well. Because the penguin he's done even more cheesy, corny lines. Obviously. Because he said, and you don't need hands as long as you have a heart.
Aww.
That first guy, right? Is it just me? I could have swore that was like a young Bruno Kirby, that guy. He looks so much like Bruno Kirby.
It could be. Genuinely could be, actually.
No, I think that Bruno Kirby is like a big star at this point, so he definitely not him. But like,
would he be big then? I'm trying to... Oh, yeah,
yeah, this is post when Harry met Sally and stuff, so yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
But, my heart is full of, I feel 5 feet tall, which is a thing that's in the script, so I don't know if it was upon hearing that Danny DeVito was cast, they're like, let's throw in a little jab about how he's short.
Well, I like the way Danny DeVito's the first person to make fun of it. He does it all the time, and It's Always Sunny.
We of course get this was weird, because this is the line I always misheard.
I think I know what you're going to say, and it's possibly my favorite line in the film now. So go ahead.
Well, the whole business where it's I always heard this when I was a kid. It was like, he's like a frog that became a friend, but it's like the frog that became a prince.
Yeah.
I don't know why I always misheard that. But
what makes this my
A
favorite?
frog became a friend.
What makes this my favorite is the reply, because it's the stupidest thing in the history of film. Yeah, he's like a frog that became a prince. Nah, he's more like a penguin.
I love that line.
What the hell?
So I'm wondering who those people are. Is that a married couple? And this is like, he's like this all the time. Or are these two random strangers who were just buying the paper? And he's like, hey, I got no time for he's like a frog that became a prince thing.
I thought that they were part of the scene from, like, in front of the graveyard. I thought they were kind of there, and they grabbed the papers as they were leaving.
Ah, that would be genius marketing.
Although it can't be, because we do see in the background, though, we've got the giant lever-pushing statue. So this, again, is in Gotham Plaza, which is the only area of Gotham that exists in this movie.
Oh. A lot happens in this square.
Yeah, this is literally we see the square, we see Gotham Plaza in a freaking minute again. Though the thing is, that woman, though, the frog that became a prince, this is actually like we could be seeing the origins of a recurring character, because this woman appears in this movie, Batman Forever, and Batman and Robin, but she has a proper like name in those. She's Gossip Gertie. She's the tabloid journalist. And this woman is Elizabeth Sanders Kane. This is Bob Kane's wife who's playing this part. Bob Kane, obviously the creator of Batman, or quote unquote creator of Batman.
Oh, wow.
And then so she married Bob in '87. She's only got a one other credit. Beyond the Batman movies, she was also in It's Alive 3: Island of the Alive, which is a thing about apparently it's about like bunch of deformed monstrous babies or something.
Yeah, they eat people.
So you're versed in the It's Alive franchise.
I only saw the first one though.
The It's Alive cinematic universe.
Yeah.
Movie minute time.
Yes.
Although we'll say that apparently It's Alive 3 stars Karen Black, who, in much as our want, we can connect this back to Batman. She starred famously in 5 Easy Pieces with Jack Nicholson. So there you go. There's a little...
Yep. Good connection.
Yeah. But yeah, I do think that might be one of the best deliveries, though, of any line in any movie is just it's more like a penguin. Like, so dismissive. And she seems so enthusiastic about it as well. It's like, if this is a married couple, they must be miserable.
This is how all married couples talk to each other, isn't it?
Pretty much.
It's like, no,
he
you
just
idiot.
mansplains.
Yeah.
Mansplains away.
Oh.
No, actually, it is a penguin.
Well, actually.
What were you thinking?
But yeah, then we get cuts to woman walking down the sidewalk when she's grabbed by a nefarious fiend of some sort.
A masher.
Yeah.
And this is one of those things too. Now, as an adult, I'm looking at this scene as been like, how is this in this movie? Like, because when I was a kid, I watched this as a kid, and I was just like, oh, it's just a random mugger. But now it's
he's
very
totally gonna
blatant.
rape her.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
100% because he's going for his trousers. It's like there's no
Ew.
ifs, ands, or buts. He is 100% a rapist. It's like that's I can understand why Warner Brothers, when they saw this, were like, Tim, what are you doing? You can't
In
put
this
in this movie.
with a Happy Meal tie-in, there's an attempted rape.
Again, like McDonald's scene, this was like, there's a rapist in the movie. What are you doing?
I never even noticed that. I thought that he was feeling around for her wallet.
Oh.
But she has a purse.
There's some fumbling of clothing. It's very to me. It's just it's pretty out there.
Yeah, I think it fits in with
Pretty
the
obvious.
themes as well, because someone's going to arrive and help the woman out. We'll get to that in a minute. So it fits with the theme, I think, that they're going for with that character. I'm just going to say it. It's Catwoman. She turns up. And her whole story is kind of, she's been, she's in the movie. Her whole story is basically about, essentially, she's been put down by men, and she's going to rightly get revenge on them for the way she's been treated. Literally murdered or attempted murdered, if you're Niall, who doesn't believe she died.
No, she didn't die. She just really, really hurt. All right.
Yeah.
Actually, so where are you two guys stand on that? Actually, like, do you think when Selena Kyle fell out that window, she died and the cats brought her back to life, or do you think she was just injured and she just woke up with a bunch of cats eating her?
Well, I mean, I think the cats helped her. I think there's some kind of spiritual thing going on there, but, head injuries do radically change people's personalities.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, it works both ways. I think that's the fun thing. I like that it doesn't tell you. You could interpret it either way.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I want to believe my cat's magical now, I can.
All cats are magical.
Of course
They
they
are
are.
magic.
They'll be the first to tell you.
It's one of my new career as official cat debunker, coming around and telling people your cat's it's just a cat. It's just doing cat stuff. It's not special.
It
It
is.
makes some magic in a box.
Ta-da!
Cats are the masters of magic.
But I think though that what adds to the fact that this guy's definitely a rapist is the fact that he's doing kind of generic criminal sexual talk, like pretty little.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Gross.
I will say this as well. So you cut later on when once woman's been rescued and she goes like, oh thanks, and then Catwoman does what she does. Like, is it just me? This woman totally looks like David Duchovny, right? Like,
What?
she really... Again, if you want to tie it into Twin Peaks, if you told me this was Agent Denise Bryson, David Duchovny's character from Twin Peaks, I'm like, yep, I'll accept that.
I mean,
like,
Duchovny makes an attractive lady, but come on.
not that she looks like, oh, this is David Duchovny with a wig, but she looks like, if you told me this was David Duchovny's sister, I'd be like, yeah, totally, I can see that. She looks loads like him.
Yeah, his sister Denise Duchovny, yeah.
Yeah, I like the Denise connection. Then we can meld the two worlds here.
But I will mention that but he is a guy called Henry Kingi, who's been in actually a bunch of stuff.
Henry Kingi, yes.
But he's been in a bunch of stuff, this guy. Notably, he's in The Ultimate Warrior. Sadly, no affiliation with the wrestler The Ultimate Warrior.
I want it to be a movie about his life. But I want it to be really dark and gritty and include all this weird homophobia so we can just...
That's the thing, yeah. If you ever do... I think because they had to do that with the James Brown biopics. It's like, James Brown was such an asshole. There's no way you can make a biopic of him where he doesn't come across like an asshole, basically. So I think The Ultimate Warrior as well would be like, you're going to get a biopic, but like, if you're a fan, you're going to have to accept some gruesome truths about this guy. Yeah, but Henry Kingi, The Ultimate Warrior he was in as Carrots Man, apparently. He's also in Scarface. He's in Predator 1 and Predator 2. He's
What?
Whoa, which character?
I think he's just like a random guy in the first one. And the second one, he actually does get a bit to do. He's El Scorpio. He's one of the gang leaders that the Predator takes out. And there's actually a scene of him. You remember he probably snorts up a load of coke and has a proper coke mustache on him. And he's like, yes, El Scorpio is ready to go. And then like...
El Snorto.
Like the Predator comes in through the roof and kills him and stuff. But he's also in Last Action Hero, a film defended many times on this show. He's in Renegade, of course, which had Bobby Sixkiller, who was the clown who got taken out by Batman earlier in the movie. So there you go. And of course, he's in the SpongeBob SquarePants movie as Inky the Pirate.
Which he also has a coke mustache in.
See, I've not seen it. I'm going to take your word on that.
Believe me.
And he's also in something called Fury of the Fist and the Golden Fleece, which is got 3.1 out of 10 on IMDb. And the plot synopsis is, the biggest porn star of the 1970s must reclaim his mojo in the 80s by saving all male kind, finding his way to the heart of a conspiracy to sell meat pumped full of estrogen to emasculate men. So, that sounds like something.
It's a true story.
That reminds me of the plot of Black Dynamite.
Yeah.
Which is probably slightly too rude for me to say on the air, so you might have to edit it out. But, you know, the way... What is it? They're putting some chemical in Colt 45 or something that shrinks black men's penises.
Cobra liquor or something like that. It makes you go, woo! Or something. And it's like... I think it's after a whole big thing, he breaks it down to be like, Cobra liquor gives you like a small dick, basically. But so after like 5 minutes of him going through a bunch of randomly disconnected things.
It's the nefarious scheme of the white man.
Yeah. Oh, it was fiendish Dr. Wu was behind all that.
Oh yeah, Chinese guy, actually.
Of course, Black Dynamite, played by the guy who played Gamble in The Dark Knight all those years later as well.
Yeah, so, everything's connected.
Wow.
Within the minutes, as he's just called Mugger in the script, even though we're postulating he's doing more. He, she looks over the side as a mysterious shadow has fallen across the wall. Gets his attention also, and this is like maybe at the time when you first saw this, I wonder if this worked on people where you might have thought for like a second this was Batman showing up.
Yeah, I thought it was initially. I think.
So it'd be kind of like they tried that in the first movie as well. It was like, oh, this couple, this family coming out of the theater. This must be the Waynes. Psych! No, it's not. First it's like, oh, you think it's gonna be Batman? No, it's not. It's an entirely different person. But yeah, then we get our first shot of Catwoman in her outfit. Anyway, which is very, very uncomfortable looking, but also. Not a thing I would ever try to wear myself because I just wouldn't know where to put everything. It just looks way, way too tight for me.
There's only one place to put it.
For my cell phone.
if we ever do attend the movies by minutes convention thing, I am determined to go in this.
Yes.
But the one later on in the movie with the hair sticking out and stuff.
Oh yeah, that's good.
I am kind of half tempted because I've seen in my like YouTube recommended recently. There's like apparently like a quite big Australian cosplayer who's made like an exact replica of this outfit, and she's going around all the Comic Cons and stuff dressed as Catwoman. And it's like we're pretty much booked for the whole movie. But it's like I wonder if I could fit her in somewhere. I need someone who's worn the outfit to verify like what's it like wearing a Catwoman outfit.
Well, that's the thing. Actually, this woman who's done the cosplay one has she modified it? Because as we've talked about in this, Michelle Pfeiffer had to be cut out of this every time. So if she needed the bathroom, she had to hold it in for like 4 hours, and they'd have to cut her out and then redo the whole. She went through how many outfits was it now? It was loads.
I think it was like
hundreds or something.
No, I think it was like
wow.
So each outfit was $1,000, and I think they went through like 70 or something like that. So it was like $70,000.
Oh my God!
To just be Catwoman, basically.
Just because they couldn't, they decided that we don't want a zipper in this. We can't. They're so inept with their sewing that they can't put an invisible zipper in.
Basically, yeah. That's what it comes down to.
If you want a bit of proof of patriarchal oppression in the movie, apparently Michael Keaton insisted they put a zipper in his batsuit this time, so they did it for him. But then they're like, "Oh, forget her. Who cares?" Like, that's...
Well, I think part of it as well is, I might have mentioned this before, but in the suit as well, she'd put it on, and then they had to paint it as well with what did they paint it with? It's like a liquid latex, I think it was. So I think maybe that affected a zipper somehow.
Oh, you know what? Once you put the latex on, you cover it with some silicone to make it shiny. It's not that wouldn't affect the zipper. They were just being insane. I have no idea why they couldn't have hidden they're sadists. Why they couldn't have hidden a zipper in this. It's just crappy costuming, in my opinion. Yeah, I will be a meow like that.
But no,
how appropriate.
Like Audra, you have dressed as Batgirl in the past, but have either of you two have you ever cosplayed as Catwoman in any form?
Yeah, I have three Catwoman costumes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I have a kind of a steampunk one. I have a 60s version one, and I have a comic book version one.
Oh, amazing! They're all great outfits. I think everything she wears is always good. But I'm going to be honest, this is my favorite. Looks wise, I know she hated wearing it, but looks wise,
truthfully, it should be the most comfortable costume. That's all of mine are the most comfortable costumes. I never knew that they didn't put a zipper in it and they had to cut her in and out.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, it's wild.
Because it wasn't quick to get it on either. Let me say, so they were like really trying to say to it, please don't go to the bathroom because it's a real pain. She had to just hold it.
Yeah, so she gets kidney failure.
Right, right. She's probably not drinking any water all day, so she doesn't have to pee.
That's the fact. I do know. Years later, apparently, someone said to Michelle Pfeiffer, "Oh, have you kept in an interview? Someone was like, have you kept the cat suit and maybe get it out for your husband every once in a while?" And she's like, "I never want to see that suit again in my life."
Wow.
That would be so annoying as well, because for a fact. Everyone's going to want you to wear it.
Oh, totally.
Of course.
Yeah, everybody's going to ask. They're going to all be perving on it.
Yeah. I mean, even as a kid watching this, I didn't know what it meant, but I was very enamored with this.
Did it make you feel tingly?
Yeah.
Well,
I think that did for a lot of people.
Well, that's the thing that, again, as a kid, I didn't notice how overtly sexual almost everything is with Catwoman in this, though. Because even one of her opening lines here, she comes in with I love a big strong man who's not afraid to go down with someone half his size. And then as he approaches her, she's like, "Oh, careful, it's my first time," which is, of course is double entendre. It's that's not it's her first night out in the town, but it's also she's talking about something else as well.
Yeah, I love that though, because it doesn't feel like exploitative or anything. It's definitely going for a kind of she's taking back the power and taking her sexuality and using it against men.
Oh, totally. And I do love the fact like her moves then there's just like just kick him in the head 3 times. And it's the same exact move every time as well. But well,
it's still an incredible scene though, you know. And do you know anything about the stunt person who was wearing the costume too? I'm just curious.
I did bring up one of the there's I think 2 different stunt people working on it. I brought up one of them. I haven't brought up the main one yet. I will get to that. I was saving it for when there's like a crazy stunt.
Yeah.
Although there is a great thing at the end of, is it this minute? No, it's the start of the next minute, isn't it? There's like
the flips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll get to that.
So I probably should have talked about it in that. Maybe I do have a note for that. Cut this bit out now. Let me have a look. Oh yeah, I cut this bit out. I'm going to start again. I haven't brought up any of the stunt people yet, but I will in the next minute.
That was the most performed. Nothing else happened in the podcast there. We didn't just edit this bit in.
It's starting to sound like fresh air.
Basically, yeah, I've got a note for the next minute. I've just checked. I wrote these notes like 4 weeks ago.
But then we also get the debut of the claws. We found out this cat has claws. We're like, I always thought it was quite strange though. Like, so I guess they're in a little thing at the edge of her fingertips, and then somehow they come out. She hasn't got like a little...
Yeah, just like a real cat.
Yeah, but like, how is she as like a mechanism? How is she getting them to come out? She just kind of...
because they're like thimbles or bobbins or something from the sewing machine that she's then like she stuck like other little blades on them as well.
Well, we do actually...
Definitely.
You can get like a detailed close-up of the claws. And each one of them is...
I'm doing it right now.
Each one of them is completely different. Some of them are like bob pins. Some of them are like twisted wire. They're actually very intricate. And it's kind of like, you see the amount of work that went into them. It's like, why aren't they in the movie more? Because that seems like someone put in time to make those things look cool. But and they're very, very Tim Burton.
I think it's probably a fake hand. You know, where they just hold up a fake hand and then they're like, ha, and then stick out all those things.
Yeah, it can't be a functioning costume.
But even though...
She'd be ripping her own costume off the whole time. You know, whoops, snagged it again. Got to put on another $1,000 costume.
And in the world of the film, how did they flip out? They look like they're on some kind of a hinge, though, that middle one.
Yeah. I don't know if it's like a way, if she flexes her fingers a certain way, it's designed to pop out then, or...
Oh, yeah.
Is one of those an hors d'oeuvre fork?
Quite probably.
I think it might be.
It's definitely a cocktail fork.
Did she just have that in her apartment? She doesn't seem the kind of person who had that.
No.
She's probably got like one fork.
Oh,
one
she does
knife.
work with Max Schreck. Maybe she had to go to some fancy dinner at some point and she was stuck in the corner and she just like, I don't have...
She brought her own.
Or she was just like, nah, I don't have any nice silverware. I'll just steal a few things. And she took that fork.
I need something for my olives.
Yeah.
Of course.
But then, yeah, when the claws come out, she does the tic-tac-toe thing across his face, like slashes down, slashes across. And of course...
And then she stabs him, right? Stabs him in the eyeballs? Well, is that what I'm seeing?
That's the thing. I used to always think she took out his eyes, but then, of course, if you look at it minute by minute, you see that his eyes are still intact as he falls down.
Ah.
But it's still, like, the implication is there, though. If you're just watching this normally, it's like, yeah, she took that guy's eyes out.
Yeah.
Oh, so grisly.
Yeah, this ain't your grandma's Catwoman. This one, that was one of the things though of Catwoman when she was introduced. Again, we'll talk about this more in the next minute because we can find it.
I do think that my cat would probably eat my face if I, died.
Hey, if I die in the house, no one's going to be feeding the cat, so I would want her to eat my face. That's fine.
My imaginary cat, that's actually a Chihuahua.
Appropriate to mention around now because it's like this, this will be airing probably like January or something like that. But we're recording around Halloween. If none of you guys, because maybe it probably wasn't a thing in America, but it's the classic British prank that the BBC pulled, Ghost Watch, where they had like a bunch of. It's genuinely, it's a great kind of movie if you watch it. Where it was kind of like the BBC doing what Orson Welles did with War of the Worlds, where like they came out with like proper well-known TV hosts talking about we're going to watch this haunted house and just see if something happens. And then over the course of an hour and a half, a bunch of crazy happens. And at the end, it's like the host is possessed and stuff like this. And it's genuinely, actually, when I first saw it, I was genuinely quite frightened, knowing that it was fake. But apparently, a lot of people in Britain at the time thought it was real. They just thought, like, holy crap, what the hell happened? And but they have a thing with the ghost in it is referred to as pipes, because the mother of the family keeps saying when they hear noises, like, no, it's just the pipes, so they call the ghost pipes. And you find out then the origin of pipes later on is that he was a child molester who hung himself under his stairs. And he locked himself in with his cats, so the cats have just tried to eat his face, basically. And so when you do see little glimpses of him, he's got like a missing eye and all this kind of stuff from the cats clawing at his face and stuff.
Oh, God.
What do they do? Jump on him and climb up to him and then, cling to him and eat his face?
I think that must be it, because apparently it was like 2 weeks before they found the body. So someone over the phone telling Michael Parkinson, the host, it was just like, yeah, they were in there for 2 weeks and, they got hungry. So it's the implication is that, yeah, they clawed their way up. They probably ate a whole bunch of them, but like they clawed his way up to his face as well to eat his eyeball at one point. But
the best bit.
But his feet were probably mostly gone.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, totally.
That's a recommendation, though, for people. If you're unaware of Ghost Watch, look into it. It's actually genuinely very, very good. But,
yeah. The cats had to untie his shoes first.
That's right.
Yeah, they don't want to eat the shoe. Oh, no.
No.
Or pick around it, maybe. Start with the ankle, and then you can go down into the shoe.
Get that tender toe meat.
Ew.
But, we'll get into this later when it pops up again. But we would be remiss if we didn't mention the fact that when she does the tic-tac-toe thing, this seems to be foreshadowing, or it's worked into the Face-to-Face, the Susie Sue song that was the spin-off of this, where she has the face-to-face, tic-tac-toe, and all that.
Yeah.
So there's some allusion to it there at some point, but...
How did I never think of that as a huge Susie fan? What the hell? I'm an idiot.
No, it's like, even before I knew who Susie Sue was. Like, I remember when I was a kid watching it, because you could hear in the background during that party scene just tic-tac-toe. Like, it's alluding back to... She did tic-tac-toe earlier, but...
Can I just say I absolutely love your Susie impression?
Oh, you'll be getting a lot of it later, John, when those scenes come up. But... well, we should mention as well, this scene would actually seem to be lifted from the comics as well. This appears to be an adaptation from the graphic novel Catwoman, Her Sister's Keeper, where Catwoman's first costume exploit was her rescuing a woman from a rapist in an alleyway. Could also be a reference to It's a Man's World from Batman 460 in March 91. It's a bit too close in time, I think, though. But yeah, the Catwoman at that point, in that appearance, takes out a bunch of rapists in a alleyway and slashes the face of a bunch of them. It seems very, very similar. And of course, a lot of people might remember as well, infamously in one of the most acclaimed Batman graphic novels, The Long Halloween, Catwoman slashes the face of Carmine Falcone. And he's going around with, the scars and stuff, and it's worked into even like the cover is you'll see like a big pumpkin with a slash down it, and it's supposed to be Falcone's face and stuff, but just mentioning all that because, that is part of what we're supposed to do, is be like, oh, there's something mildly, quote-unquote, educational about Batman.
In the comic, does she also kind of turn on the female victim?
Well, that is an interesting thing. I'm not too sure whether to go into this in this minute or the next one, but yeah, it does seem very much like Catwoman's got no time for this woman. Like, she's not there to comfort her. She is there to be like...
She
kind
blames
of
the
feminist. That she does some victim blaming, but she's like this feminist that seems fed up with women's bull.
Yeah.
And totally blames her for the situation she's in. Oh, well, true feminism should be welcoming to all types of representations of femaleness. Even that woman should just be able to walk down the street without having to carry a gun.
Yeah.
It's kind of like maybe they threw it in just to be... Because everything else you consider Catwoman doing in this movie is like, oh, she's kind of in the right, taking down Shrek's department store, justified. Killing this guy, or taking his eyes out at least, justified. And it's like, I guess maybe kidnapping the Ice Princess is a bit, you don't want that. But like, everything else is like, oh, Catwoman's kind of like a good guy. But like, if you have her be like kind of a bitch to this woman who's just been raped, it's like, no, she's evil. She's nefarious because she's done this.
I think that she's actually talking to her former self.
Absolutely.
Because she's a little mental, and she's just like, "Ha! I see you, Selena Kyle."
Yeah. She's saying like, "You are what I was, and I don't ever want to be again."
Yeah.
You disgust me.
And she's also a bit like, are you related to David Duchovny in any way? Because you really look like him.
It's very complex. It's very complex because it's like a self-hating female. You know, which it's interesting. It's probably the most complicated thing in the movie. I think.
I love that part about her because it's like you don't agree with that attitude, but you can see where it's come from. I mean, she feels like because I was acting this way, that's why my life went the way it did. You know, you can see why she would make those conclusions and be like, well, you should help yourself like I've helped myself. Yeah. Even though she helped herself by getting thrown out a window.
Yeah, or maybe she's just telling her to stop wearing that dress when she goes out, so that's because
oh God,
wear sexy outfits instead.
I'll tell you, plenty of feminists are like this when to burlesque dancers. Not like I'm speaking from personal experience or anything. Yeah, I mean, I think Klingon Vanna White and I have both been accused of setting back feminism. And absolutely, I mean, I consider myself a feminist, of course, and I take my clothes off on stage in the name of feminism. But
Odessa Lil, how could you possibly be a feminist when you're not dressed like a pilgrim every day?
Exactly. Pretty much. That's pretty much how people come at us sometimes.
Because there's nothing more feminist than being an insanely puritanical religious person and covering up and whatnot.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, put your polyamory, prairie dress on and head on out there into the world.
But then again, let me say, if that's what you choose to do as well, cool.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
but I'm allowed to
you can't decide these things for people.
That's it. Yeah, just do whatever you want. Just don't be an asshole. That's always should be the hard and fast rule of the world.
Yeah.
Do what you want. Do it over there.
I think I came across one time like a 3-second clip from Ghostbusters, like the original Ghostbusters. And it was just Peter Venkman going, "My friend, don't be a jerk." And I was like, that is just advice for everyone at all times. Just like, because he's calling the guy his friend, so he's like, "I've been friendly to you, but don't be a jerk." And it's just like, yeah, that's just good advice. Everyone should follow this all the time.
Definitely. The world would be a much better place.
I was going to try to go into the room quote there, but I couldn't quite remember. It was like, if everyone loved each other, then the world would be a better place.
That's pretty close, yeah. No, if a lot of people love each other.
There you go. That's the one.
If a lot of people love each other.
Let's go play catch the football.
Yes. We love you, Tommy, if you're listening. I'm sure you're not.
You never know. He could be, yes, of course, I'm a big fan of Batman. But anyway, in terms of like action for this minute, I think I'm done. I don't know if you guys have anything else you want to bring up about anything that's happening here, or.
Well, I had one Catwoman outfit note that I forgot to bring up, and it does actually explain what it's been brushed with, which we have touched on, but I'll go into it because she actually. It's a quote from Michelle Pfeiffer. She said, "It was the most uncomfortable costume I have ever been in. They had to powder me down, help me inside, and then vacuum seal the suit. They'd paint it with a silicone-based finish to give it its trademark shine. I had those claws, and I was always catching them in things. The face mask was smashing my face and choking me. We had a lot of bugs to work out." Ouch.
Oh wow, yeah. I see there's a strap that goes from the face mask under her chin.
Yeah.
And there's actually is a tube on the back of her neck hanging down. God, yeah, well, latex I have a latex dress, and it's kind of just like, let's marinate in our bodily juices.
Yeah, latex is disgusting.
I thought PVC was bad enough. I imagine latex is worse.
Yeah. My stuff's made out of PVC, so PVC breathes, actually, compared to latex.
Oh,
Yeah.
my God.
I was in a latex fashion show once, and it was probably the most disgusting clothing-related event I've ever had to deal with.
I was going to say, people like, why is that sexy then? But then, some people are into the smells.
Yeah. Well, it looks beautiful. It's it's form fitting.
Yeah.
It's black. It kind of it actually kind of sucks you in a little bit, and but like when you're on the dance floor, feeling the water slide of your sweat, slide down your legs. And you're like, oh, gee, am I peeing myself? No, this is just my sweat.
Would it be better to be peeing yourself, or like which is the preferable option?
Maybe not having, like you literally feel dripping. Yeah, at least, like because I had a hobble skirt dress, and then I have a bunch of latex actually, but it was just like gross. And then like you're, of course it was all in the 90s where everybody was smoking. You're always one cigarette away from disaster.
Oh, God, yeah.
Someone hits you actually with a little bit of a red flame and whatever, like that red tip of their cigarette, and suddenly you're just like, phew, naked. And it like flies off of you like a balloon.
The thing is, that used to happen as well. Like, I remember going out and people smoking and stuff, and people would drop their cigarettes on me all the time. Like, they would just, like, really, because they were really drunk, they would kind of fall over, and you just get ash all over you. It's, oh, Jesus. And I once got my tie burnt by someone. It was, thanks a lot.
Something still hung up, though, and intro to say, it was the 90s. I just wanted to do a Mogwai minute, like, it's the 90s, and then just... It smells 1966.
Yes, it's got to be that song.
It's either that or like Breakfast at Tiffany's or something.
No, it's got to be Teen Spirit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm ready to wrap this one up for you guys.
Yes.
Yep.
We will depart. Would you like to tell our listeners once more where they can find you online?
Sure, man. You can check us out, speakeasily.tv, and see more of Klingon Vanna White and Odessa Lil, and Shecky Davis Jr., who just couldn't be here today. Because I think he's in the bathroom. But,
you might want to check him out, because he's been in there a while.
He's reading The Onion in the bathroom, it's fine.
Probably. Yeah, he's doing blow off the onion, like you were in the club. And we have a podcast, Speak Easily Hour Minute Podcast. You can find us on iTunes and SoundCloud and whatever all the other are. We're there.
Yeah.
You're everywhere.
And you can
Tumblr.
also try... Oh, go on.
No, sorry. I was just going to make a joke. You go ahead.
You could also try Satan's premier ride-sharing service, blacklama.com.
Even I haven't checked this out.
It's an excellent service. Klingon, tell them all about the service.
Like you wasted all that time on toilets with sinister auras, John. You should have been looking up this instead.
Yeah, hell yeah.
With your own personalized incantation, a piece of chalk, and 50 gallons of virgin blood.
I've only got 40 gallons.
Oh, well, you'll just have
you
to
better find a way
more.
to get 10 more. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but the 50 gallons of virgin blood was actually only for Black Llama XL.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
You could do the one where you share it, the ride share version.
Yeah.
Oh my God. How do I follow that?
blacklama.com.
You know what? I'm not even going to follow that. That was perfect. Just check us out all over the place. You know, as usual, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, Tinder, Grindr, everywhere. We're all over the place.
Yeah. Just J-Date.
Yeah. Hit us up on all of that. And we will see you again on Friday.
Nom de plume promulgation. A formidable feline officially makes her debut, so it seems Gotham's threat levels are doubly renewed. But will a fated cat fancier be furtive or candid about an interference regarding Shrek being a bandit? Find out Friday. Same bat pod, different bat minute.